really well-played game.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback in his 12th NFL season now. It's the veteran Joe Flacco. He's hitting his mid-30s now, but you think of recent years, veterans like Brady, Breeze, Rivers, and Roethlisberger excelled into their mid to late 30s. The question, can Joe Flacco continue his NFL career? Of course, the MVP of Super Bowl 47. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there, and it's 3rd down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And how about Phillip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, as an offense, you know, some drives you have it, some drives you don't, and this one looks like you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction.
Here we go.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now it's Trubisky. That's complete to Robinson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 23 carries, 130 yards.
Leading the league in rushing after week 1. You know he'd love to double down and continue that type of play here in week 2.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
They go play action. Trubisky, he's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
Now Flacco. Here's Booker on the catch. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Flacco to throw here on 3rd down. They set up the screen to Booker. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Here's Flacco toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Once more, it's Flacco. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off at the 40.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Right here, right here.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Dancing to his left. Caught out left side by Robinson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better than evenings. For some reason it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go.
Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Set to start another drive, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Flacco's throw there complete, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Flacco from midfield, and that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there.
Let's go, baby.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They run. This is Cohen. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense will probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Davis. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Trubisky. This is Gabriel out on the left side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 16 yards, a 1st down. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
Let's make these babies cry all the way, man.
They'll try and run forward with Davis. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Davis. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times it's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. A drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Oh, able to avoid him. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there and a first down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jeff Hireman, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now 13-7. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. From the 45 on 2nd down, Trubisky.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mask.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, Let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Play action. Flacco. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. So that'll back them up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Flacco from the gun. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A huge play there for Chicago. 75 yards. So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward him on this next play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did.
They bring the blitz, and it's not always the initial blitzers that make the play. In this case, the blitzers actually took up the blocking. How about the guy in the middle, though? Reading his keys, right on the spot, stops him at the line of scrimmage.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears will extend their lead. They were able to stop him at the line on 1st down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination. And they got it done on the 2nd try.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Buster Screen is able to bring him down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Mitchell Trubisky and the Bears set to begin their next drive. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the focal point, when you're able to run it well and hold the defense back from their pass rush, it allows you to throw it as well as we're seeing so far in this game.
Yeah, now they'll be looking to add to their lead here in the second quarter. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Von Miller getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
To try again after the sack. Trubisky, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Throwing here on first down. Flacco throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Booker, the man he was trying to get it to. And that'll bring up second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Kyle Fuller there defensively.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense. A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky connecting with Burton here over the middle. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. This one fielded at the 5. Shrugs off it. Cordero Patterson. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Chicago. Cordero Patterson, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Bears will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation, but I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Flacco. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And a decent effort, but they'll mark him down about 3 yards shy of the first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This is fielded at the 7. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. Hey, we heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges.
On second down now. It's Cohen. Skirts by him at the 35. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Trubisky to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Play action. It's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The catch made by Miller. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle. Now it's Trubisky. Rolling to his right. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Different story this time around. We have that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
On second down, Freeman. And room there to work it inside the 25.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Flacco. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was third down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Out left to Shaheen. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And Denver getting set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Flacco. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Trubisky, middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. And this is going to be intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Watch the run, watch the run. Switch.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Flacco. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. But now it's 3rd down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Flacco, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Flacco. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start with a give to Cohen. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They hand off to their big tight end. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Double dog, that's the way.
Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Davis. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
The throw right sideline here is complete. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. This is Gabriel out on the left side. And he's got the 1st, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Well, he's going to go for it all. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Justin Simmons. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there, but let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just give him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Incomplete on 1st down. Now Flacco on 2nd. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running.
And he lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus...
Davis fighting. He loses the football, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Partner, that would look like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, two-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. So the fumble recovery, now Flacco to throw. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jake Butt, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On second down, Davis. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground with a tight end. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Flacco and the Broncos now down 28-21. A minute 4 on the clock. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. The Broncos in their hurry up, try to get to their positions and get set quickly. Complete out right to Jake Butt. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon. The dump off good for 8 there on 1st down. Freeman. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Chicago, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis.